Taking regular walking breaks and increasing NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis, is one of the most overlooked yet powerful ways to combat visceral fat. NEAT refers to the calories your body burns during everyday activities that aren't formal exercise. Walking to the kitchen, standing while talking on the phone, fidgeting, doing house chores, or taking the stairs. While these movements seem trivial on their own, together they can significantly influence your total daily energy expenditure and help reduce fat accumulation deep in the abdominal cavity, especially for people who are otherwise sedentary. Visceral fat is particularly responsive to overall movement volume, not just what happens during a structured workout, but how physically active you are across your waking hours. Research shows that long periods of sitting, even if interrupted by an hour of exercise, are associated with a higher risk of metabolic syndrome and visceral fat storage. This is because sitting for prolonged periods reduces insulin sensitivity, slows metabolism, and allows fat to accumulate around the organs, even if you technically meet the weekly exercise guidelines. This means that someone who hits the gym for an hour but then sits at a desk or couch for the remaining 10 to 12 hours of the day may still struggle with hidden fat buildup that undermines their health. Incorporating short, frequent walking breaks throughout the day helps keep the body metabolically active and prevents the hormonal stagnation that encourages visceral fat storage. Even 2 to 5 minutes of light walking every half hour can lower post-meal blood sugar spikes, reduce insulin levels, and improve circulation, all of which are crucial for reducing inflammation and fat storage around the liver, pancreas, and intestines. These benefits occur independently of weight loss and make walking an especially valuable tool for individuals with insulin resistance, prediabetes, or a family history of metabolic disorders. NEAT is also cumulative, meaning that the more small movements you accumulate across the day, the greater the impact on fat metabolism. This includes standing desks, walking meetings, pacing during phone calls, using stairs instead of elevators, parking further away, or doing household tasks like gardening, vacuuming, and cooking. These might not feel like real exercise, but they activate large muscle groups and stimulate energy expenditure in ways that matter over time, especially for reducing fat in areas most associated with chronic disease. From an evolutionary perspective, our bodies are designed to move consistently throughout the day, not to remain in prolonged states of inactivity punctuated by brief bursts of intense movement. Our ancestors didn't do workouts, they simply moved often, walking long distances, foraging, squatting, lifting, and performing physical tasks. The modern shift towards sedentary work, screen time, and passive leisure creates an unnatural mismatch that signals the body to store rather than burn fat. NEAT is a way to reintroduce the natural rhythm of movement and send the opposite signal, that your body is engaged, energized, and doesn't need to hoard visceral fat as an energy reserve. There's also a psychological benefit to increasing NEAT. Regular walking breaks can reduce stress, improve mood, and reset attention, all of which indirectly support healthier eating habits and better sleep. Since chronic stress and sleep deprivation both drive cortisol production, which in turn promotes visceral fat storage, these small movements may help regulate hormonal cascades that would otherwise sabotage fat loss. Walking after meals, for example, not only aids digestion but also blunts blood glucose spikes, a well-documented method for reducing the metabolic load that leads to abdominal fat accumulation. And unlike high-intensity workouts or strict diets, NEAT is sustainable. It doesn't require gym memberships, special clothing, or major lifestyle overhauls. It's adaptable for people of all fitness levels, including those recovering from injury, managing joint issues, or dealing with fatigue. For individuals who are overweight or struggling with motivation, NEAT offers a realistic entry point into movement that still provides measurable benefits, including reductions in waist circumference and improvements in insulin sensitivity. The key is consistency. One 5-minute walk is not a magic bullet, but 5 or 6 short walks throughout your day, layered on top of a generally more active lifestyle, can lead to hundreds of extra calories burned each week. More importantly, it keeps your metabolism on throughout the day, reducing the hormonal signals that encourage fat to accumulate in your midsection. In summary, increasing NEAT by taking regular walking breaks and staying physically active throughout the day is a simple, low-barrier, and evidence-based strategy to reduce visceral fat. It may not feel as intense as a workout, but the science is clear. These micro-movements compound over time, and when done consistently, they help reverse the silent metabolic shifts that drive fat to accumulate around your organs. By standing up, walking more, and embracing movement as a lifestyle rather than a scheduled event, You reclaim one of the most natural and effective tools for long-term fat reduction and metabolic health.